to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye, goodbye to everybody. Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye, goodbye to everybody. I need some changes in my life. Now I need to move on in life. Now it's
I run into the police. Finna slap the dog shit out of this nigga.
Yo, welcome back to the Ugly Man channel. This is an experimental shitposting project. Usually go about 49 minutes. There and abouts. Yeah, we're back with Harlan. Yeah. Spooge. Homeless guy rages over being asked if he bought a drink. Doing business while homeless. Budget. Yeah, I guess he's still got this like never-ending issues. And it's really a prescient issue of the day. Is that if you go into Starbucks or your local coffee store and you order like a black or like a flat white or something very basic, I think we all have that anxiety where you just feel like that pressure of getting the frou-frou toppings, the caramel, like 20 caramel pumps, 30, you want like not even pumpkin spice anymore. You want pumpkin spice infused into the coffee. Just a little bit of pumpkin spice ain't gonna do it. Chai latte, no, we're not gonna do that. Yeah, so I'm guessing this is it because he feels inadequate. He can't keep pace with the hoity-toities and the elite.
Yo, and welcome back to the Spooge Daily channel. This will be a vlog entry. We usually go to 20 minutes, and the topic was going to be about setting a budget, kind of getting into the starting work for doing business while homeless. My second survival guide after Urban Camping Pro, based on the layers of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. First being...
Yeah, I ain't going to get that, just that urban camping, the basic bitch model. I want Urban Camping Pro. I want the pro version.
Biological basic needs, second being security. Subsequent will be love and esteem going forward, but we're not there yet. We're working out of homelessness from the bottom up.
Oh, we're not there yet. We'll never be there.
So that's part of the... It was originally going to be one work based on the whole Maslow's hierarchy called The Physics of Homelessness, but it's going to be a 4-volume work of the same name with each chapter as its own guide. So...
Are you giving this away for free, Harlan? Or are you like monetizing it in any way? Or it's just going out there? Are you making any money off this?
There's drafts of the first one published. It's free, but you can donate or pre-purchase a digital copy. My God,
okay.
All right. But the topic that came up was, okay, so I did this research and stuff like that at Aware Starbucks, right as I commended them for their new broke equals GTFO policy of homeless people can't use the bathroom. All
right, so it's the bath. We have not progressed past this. It's still the same old game. Yeah, I don't know if they're actually irritated that he uses the bathroom, or is he actually in there doing everything that he needs, including like maybe a dry wash where he's just like mopping himself down and getting all the crud under every crevice out in the bathroom, and it like might reek after. I don't know what he's doing in there, but they obviously don't particularly like it, and now he's constantly self-conscious about it.
But of course, when I leave after sitting there for 2 hours, the person who slept right next to me saw me sitting there, asked to make sure that I purchased a drink. They don't ask the same thing of others, and it just tells me that I was invisible sitting there. It's like, it's supposed to be a little thing.
Yeah, I guess it's the policy of the company is you must purchase something in order to use the service room or the toilets, right? That's the thing?
Go to the bathroom. But why does it knock over my whole mental stack of all this stuff I was doing and preparing to talk about, and why do I get triggered? Well, this is another one of those situations where if I was, and I'm doing laundry right now, so I wasn't even wearing this. I was wearing a nicer wool jacket and everything, but yeah, sure, this is ripped. I just noticed, so profile away, right? Oh, you're making a big deal of it. Don't get triggered. People all ask for their
own... I didn't even notice. No one noticed, but now that you made me aware of it, yeah, man, dude, get your shit together.
Reasons, all true, but why in my life have I never really experienced this? Oh, because they just implemented the must buy a drink to use the bathroom policy. Well, they've asked me the question before, way before.
Oh, so it's new. They're cracking down. And Harlan has he's been caught in the middle of this.
It was official as well. But then other people come in and they wave them through. They don't buy anything, no problem. Oh, it's just different employees, whatever. Well, it's my job now to understand this and figure it out and come up with solutions of, okay, this happens. What do? You ask for the manager. Because here's the thing, like Love's gas station, if they don't offer you a receipt, it's a $1, you get a $1 off coupon at the store. So that's another thing too, is I had to go back to the counter and ask for my receipt. That's not free. That takes time. That takes mental space. I'm past. Like, I know why they don't ask if I want my receipt. It's because...
Is that like a, RAM space? Like you run out of RAM editing a video and then it's like it grinds to a halt. It's the same thing with the mental space. If you don't have enough left, you just grind to a halt. You overheat.
I don't look like a person who will do anything with receipts right now while homeless. But yes, I'm a productive member of society. I graduated college. Yeah, I dropped.
Oh yeah. He has the receipt. He tallies receipts and then he compares and contrasts prices day to day. It's like a price tracker of like what's the best deal you can get as a homeless person. And my feeling is like multiple apps like this exist. It might not be expressly for the homeless market, but people who like to save on their shopping would have something like this. So he's like trying to tap a market that's already been like tapped out.
Out of high school, I redeemed myself. I did good in college. I was brought to California twice.
Do not redeem, Jesus. You did well in college. Well, what the hell happened? Oh, the harassment thing.
For tech jobs, I've been recruited by at least 2, maybe 4 of Elon Musk's companies. Like I don't deserve to be out.
What has he got? He's got Starlink, Tesla, the Boring Company. He had PayPal. He sold that. Which were the companies? I'm not saying you're bragging, but I want to know.
Out here, but I am here, and I'm getting killed by a million little paper cuts of, did you buy something? Another thing too, I came out of the laundromat, and this, security guard, it's his job, whatever, but he was looking extra hard, and I gave him like this and flipped him off. Yeah, I don't swear. Is that swearing? I'll flip off a security guard who's watching me extra hard, even though I look like I deserve to be watched extra hard right now. I kind of look like a bum, don't I? Oh, you know what? Guess where I got this GitHub shirt? From literal GitHub.
Guy's probably just like, going about his business. Just looked at him once and he flipped him the bird. It's just like, geez, dude. Just trying to make a living out here. I could be homeless tomorrow, like you. Don't give me such a hard time.
HQ. Why was I there? Huh. Why was this homeless bum in GitHub HQ? Huh. He's just a nothing. He's got no qualifications. He doesn't belong anywhere. He belongs on the street. Huh. It's okay. I know why people profile me. I'm not sitting here trying to be like social justice, this or that. I'm trying to sit here and say, look, people profile me in this way. This is why it's messed up. And why am I out here?
I'm guessing like you've been here for a while, like whatever that town was, like it's somewhere in a valley. It's like at the back end of San Francisco somewhere. So you leave San Francisco and you drive out, I guess, east for about an hour or 2, and it's like just one of these little towns he's in. And it's like, how long have you been here? And people are now aware of your presence because you're here every day and you're just shambling around, hogging bathrooms, and it's like, yeah, the word gets out, especially if it's a small town.
If I just had what I needed to not be profiled, I wouldn't be profiled. People be like, oh, you're just snapping and raging and whatever, and just calm down. Yeah, put yourself in my position. Oh yeah, I'm putting myself in your position right now.
Calm down, player. Calm down, player.
Mentally, and it's not that bad. You're being too sensitive. Yada yada. No. I'm probably one of the most resourceful, one of the most credentialed, one of the most, especially for this job that I'm doing, people, not just homeless people.
Isn't it, aren't you dishwashing? Wasn't it dishwashing? Something like that.
I'm out here, I started college for journalism too. So that's my mindset, the journalistic integrity thing. How do take some accountability, homeless bum? It's extremely expensive. I'm trying to force people to hold me accountable. That's why you're homeless, is because you're trying to force people to do things. Everything a homeless person does, lack of integrity or some kind of deception, some kind of con, we need
I don't know how people draw these conclusions, Harlan. It's just so odd. What is it about you that seems to attract this sort of suspicion? I wonder.
Sound methods of accountability, because nobody will believe a homeless person. Nobody will believe a homeless person anything. Think of a homeless person as small business administration. Okay, well, we need to establish a budget. How do we do that? With receipts and all this and that, right? So yeah. Why do we do that? So that other stakeholders can be confident, and so that we can use that to make decisions on our own.
Are they really poring over every Starbucks receipt, Harlan? Are they really going to be sweating that?
Stuff like that. I'm out here being more rigorous than most people are in their personal lives. But people are like, take some accountability. Get a second job. You want to hear why the logistics of getting a second job aren't going to work out? Without an apartment? Yeah, get me an apartment. Then I'll get a second job. I'm not against getting a second job, but I need the logistics to make it work. That's.
Is this people in his personal life, or because he doesn't have his comments open? He is on Twitter. He talks a lot of shit, but I might be the only person who actually checks in on his Twitter.
What these survival guides are all about. I'm so tired. I don't want to talk to people about these individually. I've done this for 7 years. I've lost everybody in my life. They might not like one word of my
accountability. He doesn't even look at his emails. He's so afraid to look at his emails, and it's email anxiety, because as soon as he opens it up, it's going to be a lot of pressure, a lot of requests, or possibly zero
explanation. They might say, "Oh, I don't understand what you're saying." Give me a book that I wrote to throw at these people. They are the ones who need the book thrown at them.
Yeah, it's a Paul thing where you've just got to prescribe to his way of thinking, and if you don't really get it and you don't understand, like you're a fucking moron, like complete idiot.
He's forced to engage with me for any reason or anything like that, they're free to walk away, definitely. But these are like people who've had me at dinner, like all kinds of holiday celebrations. These are like family people, just like, oh, I don't understand you. Well, then try. Ask me some questions.
Uh,
Oh, well, if you're going to rage like this, then of course, what Open Table said is true. You are violent. You don't, this is why nobody talks to you. It takes a long time for a person to get to this point. Oh, well, it looks like you're out here because you're already like this. So until you work on that, you're going to be out here.
they bent you over the table, Harlan. Seems like it's completely fucked with your mind.
That's a very good fraud that they submitted to the court. And it gives everybody an easy excuse to dismiss me, to see my behavior, to not even try to engage with me because they're scared. Brilliant legal lawfare from those people. But yeah, so like making a budget and stuff, why do we do it? For personal accountability for ourselves, because no one cares to engage with us or anything like, oh, well, the people on the channel do. Find a way. I've been thinking about things like the homeless data project. That's another kind of related to the physics of homelessness thing. The homeless data would be things like receipts that help us do budget planning, help us plan our schedule, make realistic schedules. Because these things are also tools too. It's not just to assure shareholders or whatever. It's also to help. It's a tool to help you. And so what are my personal apps doing? Yeah, I've made like 20 apps out here on the street. Nobody cares. Oh, it's just a fantastical claim.
I don't think he releases them though. He doesn't want to release them because they're going to be like ripped off by some bullshit China app that will just completely like pilfer his intellectual property and like just have I don't know, like a sort of, like what was it, Vine? Vine was like a proto TikTok, and then TikTok just said, all right, we'll take Vine and then like turn it up to 11.
Claim. Why would anybody spend 1 second looking into the claim, right? There are people who know how good I am, how competent I am, how good of a communicator I am, how, calm I am, how...
Your homies, like your script kiddie, tech buddies, that all kind of like don't really get in contact with you because you don't get in contact with them, and you've kind of ghosted them, but they should be getting in contact with you, but you don't read your email, so you'll never receive the message. Yeah.
How much patience I have, how thoughtful I am. And they want me out here. Because why
Just another car farting.
would they not speak up for me? Why would they only say bad things about me to other people? Like old friends, parents. You think my parents don't know how good I am? Oh, well, it sounds like you got a massive ego out there that you got to work on, buddy.
What was the problem with the parents? Were they abusive towards him, or was it like narc abuse? They were just like complete narcissists and kind of like demeaned him. But he does come, like, he's told stories where he had to come crawling back to his dad.
Yeah, no matter what I say, somebody's going to have something, some little quip, some little dunk. So why do I even address it? Yada, yada, because it has to be my job. Like, nothing else can really be my job out here. It's my job to get triggered by little things and figure out why they're triggering and make recommendations to companies like Starbucks how they can make it better. Even though nobody will ever take it seriously until, I'm basically an artist, homeless guy, artist, they're both hated.
Oh, okay, so you're like an experimental, avant-garde artist, like you're kind of like I don't know, like a gonzo journalist, lived experience, sort of like Hunter S. Thompson kind of character, where it's like I'm reporting from a point of view that you couldn't possibly have as a, very well paid journalist for a mega broadcaster.
While they're alive. So I just need to publish all this work in a way that will stay after I die. I need to make sure that I know that my will and estate may not be touched by my biological relatives. 0 of them. Not parents, not aunts, not cousins. Nobody in my biological family is going to...
Is that just a petty kind of like return fire? Because I don't know if he's persona non grata, but like I think the parents have completely like cut him out. I think he's like referenced that he might not be in the will.
Going to be able to get into my accounts. Now they'll try, but it's against my will. You're hearing it right here, right now. If they step into my accounts after I'm gone, they are not the people. I want to give all my accounts to the Hacker Dojo. Whoever's in charge there, they'll be...
The Hacker Dojo.
I've said it before that this isn't just some coerced, like, whatever. No, that's my last will and testament. I want the Hacker Dojo to get everything I own. And yeah, I should probably make a procedure to get in, get all my passwords and everything, because I've got an encrypted drive. But that would be, in a sense, another facet of doing business while homeless is, continuing business after dead. Like, homeless people have hugely elevated all-cause mortality.
All-cause mortality. So it's an elevated death by all kinds of things. Is that what he just said? Yeah, just what I thought, yeah. So it's like death by many different means and ways that probably a normal person would not experience.
So it's probably very prudent for them to have a last will and testament and procedures to get into all of their accounts and everything. Because you guys don't know what's happening out here at night. Like, I've told a couple people a couple things that have happened, and they are not good. The way that people, it's other homeless people wandering the street, junkies at night, right? I'm out there sleeping with them. This is not.
Well, you're in California, so it's a different level of homeless. It's the real deal sort of stuff. I don't think it's the stuff Paul kind of interacts with. And if he interacts with it, it's very few and far between. But in California, I think they are kind of the real deal, Holyfield.
Not a choice to be out here. Yeah, I've got a car with a solar panel. Oh, just sell your solar panel and get an apartment. If I sold everything I owned, it'd be, maybe $500.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is that worth? 500, yeah.
Yeah, right. Minus the car, I don't think I have $500 worth of stuff. Yeah, it costs more than $500, but resale, I don't think someone would buy a storage unit full of everything I own for $500. It's just not that much stuff, not worth that much.
All right. At least he's honest about it, Paul B was like, it's $250,000 and change.
Oh, then why do you have for things like records, homeless data project, 7 years of all my finances? Why would I not have that? I'm an adult, right? Well, homeless people are, I would argue, because homelessness is characterized by not having a choice. Homelessness equals no choice. That's why van lifers aren't homeless. They could get an apartment if they wanted to. Yeah, there are some who are in van life because they're homeless. That's a whole.
Yeah, it's the hierarchy comes into it now. It's like you've got like a million different layers of homeless, and then van lifers is like, well, you're not really homeless, and you're muddying the waters. You're like the purity of my level of homelessness now is like muddied because of the van lifers, the bloggers.
Whole other thing, right? And even the two groups, the doing well van lifers versus the stuck in van life, they sort of disparage them in some ways. They're like,
oh my
they're the ones
God, this is like end of Western society decay right in front of you. This is like what we're worried about. We've gone insane.
Doing it for everyone. Well, they're homeless people. They're not out there choosing to ruin it. I don't remember offhand right now the difference between decide and choose, but they're in this little valley of like, I've got a van and a little bit of stuff. I guess I'm van life, even though I'm also homeless. Versus I've got a van and a little bit of stuff and a bunch of money and assets and stuff like that allow me to secure a lease. I'm in van life, baby. And these people are, I've got all these good procedures and stuff that my money and mental space can afford me to like plan and all this stuff. And then we got these people. What are they doing? They're out here dumping their garbage and not moving every day. And they're ruining it for all this van life. These are homeless people, even though they live in a vehicle. Okay, so these two topics of like budgeting, business administration, and not having a choice do kind of go together in the sense. Okay, so these tools are like applied budgeting, right? So I've got my steps written down.
Yeah, this is like Harlan's the kind of guy that it's a Californian think space for a big corporation is this kind of useless inane chatter like that really has no great implications to anything meaningful. But this is Harlan's like thought process, and it's definitely like Californian brain rot.
How to create a budget, right? So it's like, and I just want to read it so I don't say anything. Process. Save receipts, take photo of receipts daily/weekly, tag receipt images, choose vendor for each receipt, materialize price and date, etc. by vendor, fast, using muscle memory. This would be like an Excel sheet. So you sort the data by vendor, you go through all the Starbucks receipts, they've got the price in the same spot. You don't have to like look all over, even if it's a half a second difference. Just like boom, go through Starbucks, boom, go through Taco Bell, price, date, time, yada, yada, yada.
My bank app does that. I can literally do that so quickly on my bank app. If I want to bring up a hardware store I've been at or something like that, it's literally, I put a B for Bunnings, that's the Home Depot, and it all comes up. This exists, but maybe not to the autistic degree Harlan would like it.
Right. So there's your process to materialize this. Then you can query and visualize the data in Excel or with my plots app. We can batch and do data dependencies here. We have overhead with some steps. Might make sense to do less than daily. So like just to get out the receipts, take pictures of them, enter them, whatever. There might be some overhead to take out and put away. So you might say like once a week I'll do this. Every other day when I have 10 receipts.
Yeah, when I'm out shopping, it's like digital receipts now. So it's all like surfaceable on. Are you kind to join everything together? Because no one is going to be taking a picture of all their receipts, Harlan. And you've got to get like just perfect. You've got to like zoom in and you've got to focus and get it all there, and then sometimes it's a really long one, so you got to go. Yeah.
Because it takes about the same amount of time if you've got 1 or 10 sort of thing. And then we might have downstream SLAs for availability in eventually consistent models. So we might have some.
It doesn't make sense, Harlan, because it seems like someone who appreciates efficiency and having everything within seconds, like that sort of data. The idea that you're like fumbling around with your phone going like trying to get the focus and everything, all the levels right, and it's not blurry, and you're going it just like that that does not seem efficient or like user friendly. Like it does not seem to prioritize the end user experience. It's just like cumbersome
process imposed on ourselves that say, or an accountability partner who says like we meet every Sunday, so have all your receipts and stuff entered by Sunday. So that's some kind of like task dependence that has some data dependence to it. So we can, this is the groundwork for a guide that I have not written the first page of yet, which is doing business with homeless, Maslow's layer 2, establishing security, getting actually accountability. You know, using all the, basically, urban camping lays it all out, like what you need moment to moment, hand to mouth. Security is like working towards 18-month runway or something like that. For me, I can afford $750 a month for rent. I moved to this town with cheap rent and the same minimum wage, $16.50. I can easily pay $750 a month in rent. I can use my budget to show how I reallocate everything. My budget is based on real data, right? So now I make a claim, hey, I just need $5,000 to get into an apartment. Here's my actual expenses and budget. Way easier, right? In theory.
It's been a while since I've checked in, Harlan, so surely you've got some savings going right now, right? Right? It's been months. So there's no property tax on the car. You're not running it endlessly like Paul B does. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. So fuel prices aren't really a problem. Though he does like work this very inconsistent schedule at the dishwashing place or the restaurant. But also he has this shared space. I don't know why he's not there, but he records from there. Maybe he's given up on it. That costs him not a lot, but it is like a waste of money, to my feeling.
You know, going back again to these people who have ignored 5, 10, 15 emails from me over the last 7 years. You know, I reach out, hey, I'm doing this. You know,
You don't read your email. You have a whole anxiety about this. It's a whole mental issue about fucking opening up your emails. So don't project.
it's like I always have to mention that I'm homeless because it encompasses every little detail and facet of life. But no one's like, hey, that's great that you did that work. Like instead I get no response, I'm left to wonder. You know, maybe my intuition and downloads about specific cases are correct. In which case it's like, oh, I'm just scamming. Oh, I'm just.
Or as he turned the corner where he now reads the emails and they don't really get back to him, and now he's completely irate about it.
This, or maybe one of these narcissists went around because, you know, social media connections are all public. And man, I don't even want to say some of the things I've seen one of my friends do, my ex-friends who I now know.
Like all his social media's YouTube comments are turned off. Like he has an old style forum, an old bulletin board where it's just a ghost town. So who are these people that are like maligning you? I want to find them and congratulate them.
Is a narcissist and was probably doing a lot of bad stuff to me behind my back, like just because of how he treated other people behind their backs. Like this guy needs to be the best, and so what does he do? All the way back. I've had this idea of people who can't be the best either need to, you know, you can be the best by breaking other people down.
Yeah, people left them behind. Like once all this open table stuff came out, like I guess people just didn't really want to be associated with him, and you know, it does like seem to eat him up from the inside out.
Below your level, or by building yourself up above everybody else's level. And this guy breaks other people down to his level. Yeah, maybe he does stuff to build himself up too, but like every single person does, you know, it's sort of that compound growth or whatever kind of situation, 1% improvement per day. I don't remember if I mentioned that on the video a couple days ago or into a note, but yeah. You know, so I'm getting all my processes together. A whole other thing with security is like, you know, keeping notes and the transcripts and how do you organize them, go back to them. So all this like data management is managing information over time. Software engineering, which was my emphasis in my major, is coding over time. So sort of like calculus is algebra over time sort of thing. So anyway, we're coming up on the 20-minute mark. Go to the Gumroad store. You can buy consulting services, pre-order book. I've got some software as well, like the Notes app. What else? Yeah, I mean, I really want to get this work written. It'd be nice if I could do entrepreneurship full time. You know, I'm about to start my 5-day work week again tomorrow. So thank you. Be well until next time.
All right, guys, that's Harlan. I don't think there's been, like, is there been, if there's progression, I can't really identify it. It seems like he's trapped in all the same problems as he was like months ago. If you were to tell me like this video was from like 6 months ago, I would have like, yeah, sure, like that makes sense. So he doesn't seem to be making any substantial progression in his life or in his homeless entrepreneurial, experimental tech receipt app, Californian brain rot project. Yeah, I can't really see it, and I haven't noticed anything like visibly in him that's changed. There's nothing about the situation outside that he films from the back of his car or something, on like a weird side-on view. Does he actually have the shared space? Because he was getting freaked out that there might be a camera recording what he was saying. Alright, there's a lot of car. Slapping myself to cope. Tired of simps. 2 weeks ago, he's back there again. Alright, alright. Like, he cooked inside this shared space. He cooked some sort of meal in this shared space and they might have got rid of him.
Spooge Daily Channel. This is an experimental tech and media brand. This will be a 20-minute vlog entry.
He's very clear in this. Usually he has like horrible audio issues, like just endlessly bad audio issues, because I guess he plugs in some sort of USB into whatever he's recording in, and it creates interference. It causes noise on the line, and you can hear it like bleeding over.
Work. They want to be there. They're checked out. They need to just smile and earn that paycheck. All that stuff. Everybody complains like crazy about how terrible customer service is. Of just the volatility of all this stuff and random. So yeah, I finally came into the space with all my stuff. I made dinner, and some guy who's a member of the space also came back or something. All the lights were on, so maybe he went out for dinner. Who knows? But I look behind me, and he's like standing in the doorway of the kitchen. I don't know how long he had been there. Right? So I'm
well, there's a kitchen. Then is this like a problem?
doing something weird in the co-working space, and the guy's just gonna sit there and stare at me, right? And a strategy that I learned from a kid in high school was to just act natural. Just don't even act like there's a problem. Just sort of like if
you just like go by and say, "How you going, buddy? What's up? How's your day been?" Yeah, could be better, you know, and then carry on.
the kid falls down, how it responds is sort of placebo effecty in that it looks to its parents for suggestion in how to respond. So one parent might give like a look of concern and the kid might start crying, while at another time a parent might just laugh it off and the kid just gets right back up and keeps going. And it's mind over matter in some respects. I didn't know any of that back then, but yeah. So yeah, I got busted. Let's see. It's another one of those things like if he snitches or not. But if these corporate people's egos are hurt by me always being the first here, the last to leave, that like that's their identity, and now some homeless guys.
Did you do anything wrong, Harlan? Is this a void of contract sort of thing? Is this like we are terminating the shared space contract because you cooked inside?
You're snatching it from them. Well, first maybe they'll just rationalize it as he's always here just because he lives here. And then, okay, do they actively dislike me and want me gone? If so, then we start snitching on this or that we witness.
Well, yeah, he's just endlessly paranoid about possible... Because I guess he's, because of his open table experience, he's now questioning everything and everyone's intentions.
And technically they're not wrong to, snitch to the letter of the law or whatever. If there's some rules or something that say, you're in a space that provides microwaves and cutting board and knives and stuff, but you're not supposed to cook, or you're only supposed to cook given, who knows.
Well, what are you actually renting? Are you renting this area and there's like a certain border or barrier that you're not meant to go past or use? Like, you have access, I'm guessing you have access to this toilet. But in terms of like, just wandering into different areas that you're not meant to be in and start cooking and going into business for yourself, I don't know if you would have the contract, surely.
But yeah, so there's that, and then there's just the fact that where I park now, there's new signs that say this is a no camping zone or whatever, camping not permitted, as though camping is permitted everywhere by default, which is what a sign like that would suggest. Unless they're just, if it's a no camping area, then what areas are not no camping areas? Oh, they're just making it clear. Gotcha. That's also the start of due process. So it can become.
Is that music is that his music? Is he like splicing in music? I can't quite figure out whether it's not just in the building.
The rule if it's not already through that kind of process. But yeah, so that is to say there's a rough element to, walking in here with I got a folding dolly, a full hand part, whatever you want to call it, to carry the tiny data center crates and the food crates. So homeless war room. We figured out that 2 hour
homeless war room. Yeah, Paul needs a homeless war room.
2 hours is about the limit of video, probably 90 minutes. But using something I have in this crate and some configuration that you guys can't see now, but I took a picture of it. I just can't touch the camera.
Harlan, are you using your time in this space to actually be productive? Or are you just like doing rough edits of these videos?
Too much, because wiggling the wires can mess up my configuration.
Yes, they do. Don't touch anything because you get such static and crazy noise.
The juice is not worth the squeeze on that. It's worth working enough to pay your bills and save a little if you can, but there's like just the visceral, like that is the line between indentured servitude and at least being an autonomous adult, which is having some disposable time to squeeze in what God is calling me to do while I work.
Interference that it like literally wrecks the audio.
So pretty similar to what's in the homeless war room. Computer with the mic, and then connected by Ethernet to the CARputer. So this was 3 loads of stuff. So I walked by like all the homeless people with 3 loads up and down the street to the homeowners now. You just get on people's radar, versus walking in once with a backpack. You go in and out.
Well, yeah, they will know and they will spot you around town. If it's a small town, they're gonna like, oh, there's this like random dude. He definitely lives in this car and he's just really awkward and we don't know anything about him. We don't know where he's from. Like, we don't know what he's doing here. And It's just a question mark.
In and out. Maybe there's notifications set up on the login system here to detect anomalies, and they start checking the security cameras, right? So, oh, well, then just I was wheel in with one load. Yeah, you know, I thought I had enough water here, but it seems I did not, so I had to bring another gallon of water in. I straight up forgot the mic and CARputer on one load. Then the final load, it was, I think, so I came in once with, just once with my backpack, second time with the cooking stuff, and third time with the containers, a gallon of water, the CARputer, and...
Oh, well, then you're kind of taking the piss, because it is like meant to just be an office area. You're not setting up. It's not like a camping space where you're just like setting up a whole fucking configuration. It's just meant like you're meant to sit down with a laptop, and you're able to enjoy the like isolated space for like an hour or two.
The mic. So $100 more a month, I could put a lot of this stuff inside a locking desk. I wouldn't have to make that trip. So is what I'm doing here.
No, storage lockers. Don't do it.
Worth $3 per day to you guys, right? So is this work worth it to you guys? Now I've gone through the effort and got the better sound quality, which was terrible for the last, as the equipment is failing, stuff is getting worse. So another thing too, the phone, the microphone jack doesn't even work anymore. So if you like the walk and talk videos, I can't even do that with a mic. I have to use a separate recording device, which, where is it?
So he has a very small frame. So yeah, right. So very, very small frame with a slightly bigger head. Yeah, it's always weird because I'm thinking he's like bobble-headed his face in like via a filter, but no, that's how he is.
I always keep stuff in the same pockets. This time I didn't for some reason. So I've done one actually when I was on my Silicon Valley trip where I just recorded the video like this and kept the sound recorder in my hand. So it looked awkward, I'm walking down the trail like this. This would be a good practice to get some backup audio anyway. But yeah, so pretty much what I have to do there is get, go back to that dub editing stuff, and, it turns into more of a process than just grabbing a video and audio together and uploading the file. And as soon as it's a process, there's the overhead of there being a process, and it doesn't even matter what the process is. So like the overhead of developing on CARputer is bringing in this crate and my backpack. For cooking, it's bringing in...
Oh yeah, like CARputer was like an all-in-one sort of solution for, I want to say your car's dash, little kind of like, if you have like a little iPad screen or something like that, it was meant to be your all-in-one, connect anything to it and it will mirror or like spit out, I don't know if it was via a Bluetooth or a USB setup, but the CARputer is still in beta.
Another crate and my bag of cooking stuff, and also going to the store and getting the ingredients like the cans of beans and the cans of whatever other diced vegetables. So it's a big process compared to just going to Taco Bell and getting some hot ready to eat food. So I think I'm paying like $5 or $6. I've got to go through my receipts and figure out exactly how much I'm paying. But I think just rice and beans is like $5 per portion. No, it's probably like... Anyway, I think the price of the overall plate is probably approaching what I pay for Taco Bell, which is like $9.
Are we going to get down to the micrograms? Like I'm buying this much micrograms of food and this is the price equivalent per microgram?
$9 to $10. Sometimes as much as 12 or 13, depending what I get. Sometimes I'll go somewhere else. And the thing I usually get is rung up at $9.85, but sometimes they don't ring it up as a meal deal and it comes up being like 12. And I don't sit there and argue for $2 or $3. I'm just like, you rang it up wrong.
Well, you should. Like, if you're that like anal about it, you absolutely should. If it's like if money is so tight that you're like getting down to this level, like these metrics, then you should argue. It's like, yeah, give me the damn discount.
Cost of doing business. Like people might say, oh, that's passive or whatever. No, it's just
he is a little bit timid though.
Valuing time. Like I'm super aware of time as more valuable than money. So I'm paying about $6 a day for this space. I was paying about $10 a day to go into Starbucks at least twice. So I'm saving a lot of money just by being here. I no longer drink Red Bull every day. I always take one to work. I don't usually drink it nowadays. So I might drink like an average of one Red Bull.
Oh yeah, the Red Bull obsession. Because I guess he always had to budget for Red Bull, and I guess he just couldn't justify it after a while. So it was like it's like an alcoholic. It's like I gotta buy this bottle of spirits, but it's going to be cutting into my account's going to be in the negative.
A day. Some days I might have 2, some days I might have 0. So I'm getting kind of tired of that. I do find I like something in the morning to sip on, be a room temp Red Bull, not a cold one, or a hot coffee, not a iced coffee. So something at least room temperature to sip on in the morning is nice. It's hard to get anything too much cheaper than $2 a drink, which is what I pay for Red Bull. Even a hot coffee will be more than that. It'll be like 3 something. So, instant coffee is an option. There is hot water here. I've gone down the instant coffee route before. I'm not above it. Taster's choice, just fine. So that's like $12 or $13 and it lasts a good couple weeks. So I could do that.
All right, folks, that is Harlan. We are up to date on Harlan. He had this share space as of like 2 weeks ago, but it looks like it's maybe fallen through. Someone actually may have snitched on him. Let me see if he doesn't address this. I don't want to watch any more of the videos. So this was 2 weeks ago. Homeless guy wants a bigger world. Build as much as possible. Routines. Karma transfer. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it looks like he has. Heck yeah, I'd pepper spray a puppy. Homeless guy, wild animals, and is he like hurting these animals? Is his what was it? Lizard Land, Lizard World that burnt down in one of these big fires over the last summer. All right, no more. That is Harlan. That's your Harlan update. All right, guys. Till next time. This is Ugly Man out.